Hey, Dayspring, great to be with you this morning. Look, I've just had a chat with one of our very own Dayspringers this morning, Charlie Mann, about his huddle and what his experience has been like in a huddle. You know, it's one thing for us to talk about huddles from the front and encourage you in them, but it's another thing to hear the experiences of someone who is in a huddle right now and what it's been like for them. So this is going to cut to a video in a moment of a chat Charlie and I had this morning, and so we hope it encourages you and blesses you and helps you get thinking about what your huddle could be like as well. So have a great day and enjoy this video. So I've got a couple of questions here we're going to work through just to, explore this a little bit with you. So when we made huddles in May, we put you in a huddle with, there was someone in your group who you knew fairly well, another guy who, correct me if I'm wrong, but you didn't know him at all. Or maybe not at all. And so we put you into a group together. And so it had a certain dynamic with that. So my question is, what are some things you guys did in the first few weeks or months that made you feel at ease with each other in that initial stage?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So we formed as a huddle like in the lull between lockdowns. So our first meeting was we actually went and had lunch at, I think it was Parramatta Westfield. And yeah, it was good fun. We just kind of hung out and we had dinner, had lunch. We talked about stuff. We just kind of introduced ourselves. Essentially went through like, who are we, how long we've been at Dayspring, what kind of stuff are we into, and it was just kind of, to start off with, it was just it's almost like a get to know you thing, like icebreakers and stuff that you do at youth, or you do it or that you do, at like the start of a connect group, just kind of getting kind of a base level connection with each other. And then from there, because we went back into lockdown, we ended up having to start using Zoom, and that was kind of a bit awkward because it's Zoom. But I guess one of the things that we tried to do was we were trying to be as deliberately open and honest as we could. Because, at least in my own experience, being open and honest with the people that you're communicating with is the best and fastest way to get kind of a meaningful connection. And so, as we kind of went through, we were sharing deliberately like things about ourselves, talking about, how we're doing at church, how we were coping with lockdown, how, what kind of stuff was happening in our lives. And that was kind of it, honestly. It wasn't anything kind of, that was deliberate, but that was about it. It wasn't really, there wasn't any kind of like magic bullet, I guess.
That's good. So it sounds like you guys from the beginning just prioritized building relationship, really. Which I think that's foundational to a huddle, really. Like if you don't have some form of relationship, it's not really going to work that well, I don't think. So that sounded like a good idea. Awesome. So for you guys at a huddle, how often do you guys meet as a huddle? Like what's your regular?
At the moment we're meeting every week at the moment. We kind of trialed
awesome.
So we kind of trialed every 2 weeks. And it was fine. Oh, sorry, I think we started off going, let's meet once a month. And then when it moved to lockdown, we were like, we could probably do this once a fortnight. And then we went, actually, no, let's just do every week, just because it makes sense.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool.
It's, at least for me, I enjoy structure. Like it helps me work properly. And so having like we meet, basically we meet for lunch on Saturday is essentially what we've been doing.
Yeah, cool. Nice.
And yeah, that's been real good. So we're there for maybe, because it's 3 people and none of us have the fancy Zoom, we can only meet for about 45 minutes at a time. But yeah, it's good. We just kind of, we jump on Zoom, we catch up, we go, hey, what's been happening in your week? Sometimes it's Jesus talk, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's, oh God, I hate lockdown. Sometimes it's, I'm actually having a pretty good week. And at the end, more times than not, we pray for each other, just kind of, quick, or at the very least, we share kind of prayer points that we have. We have a group chat as well.
Good.
Yeah, so it's not anything sort of, I think, if we were all in the same LGA, which are not, we'd probably meet up more often. So I am really looking forward to meeting up with the guys like in person. It'll be good fun.
Awesome. So, you've been a huddle for what, 4 or 5 months now, or maybe just a bit shorter than that. I don't know. So for those who maybe are new to huddles, because we've had a couple of new ones start in the last month or so, what is one challenge you guys have maybe experienced in your huddle that you think could be good for others to be aware of? And how have you worked through that challenge?
I think for us, what was really important was finding a time that worked for all of us. Like to meet, because the point of this is not just to be like, I guess it's got to be deliberate, I think, is the thing that I would end up saying, is like, you need to be deliberate about finding a time that works for all of you and then sticking to that time. Like almost make it an assumed thing that this is going to happen, like this is going to happen on this day at this time, because if you don't make it a priority, if you don't make it a deliberate set space, then it's going to fall by the wayside and it won't work. One of the other things I think is a good idea is to make sure that you can have a space that everyone can get to easily. So that's why Zoom I think is really helpful, is because you don't have to be physically in the same location, although I would prefer that. But like finding a place that everyone can get to easily, that's not too much of a stretch for any one particular person, is also really helpful, just to make it accessible and to make it not feel like, however big the huddle is, that you don't have like a few people who are all really tight knit and close grouped together and one person who's kind of all over the outside. So it's,
that's good.
I think that's important as well. Make sure make it deliberate and make sure that you're not even kind of unintentionally excluding someone.
They're really good, helpful points, I think. And I think as well, just touching on the fact that you like to be deliberate with it. And I think with being deliberate, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be catching up for 2 hours like every week.
No, of course not.
I think because some people are time poor and we get that. So it's like, if you have what you said, your Zoom only lasts 45 minutes. So I'm like, it doesn't even have to be that. It might be half an hour. It's like, all right, this is our quick half an hour that we do. We catch up, we, spend some time with each other. And that's what we do every week or every fortnight. But I think that's really good, being deliberate about it. Awesome. So final question. What have you found really beneficial from your huddle? And so basically, what impact has it had for you personally in your relationship with Jesus?
Being in the huddle has actually, like, it's kind of helped me keep on track, I guess is probably the best way to say it. It's a smaller community, and obviously I, try to engage with, stuff at church, but it's like, it's helped me to kind of connect with other people who are Christians at a time when I'm not really able to do that nearly as much as I used to. So it's kind of helped me keep solid in the stuff that I believe. And also, like, I think that's mainly it. It's been keeping me part of the community that I have chosen to be a part of. Like, this is, I consider Dayspring my family. And so, being able to connect with people from that family keeps me connected to, who I am and what I believe, and the, that we pray, almost, most meetings, it keeps us connected to each other and then also keeps us connected to God. And so that's, I think, what's helped me to do, is help me keep grounded in my faith. And
good.
That's probably
awesome.
the thing that's helped me the most with.
Nice, awesome. And I think that's definitely what's been needed at this time as well. Being in lockdown for nearly 14 weeks or something now. I think the biggest thing we've needed is just to be connected, be in each other's lives, and having people we can just share this time of life with, because it's pretty unknown and it's been difficult. So it's super cool to hear that it's been a blessing for you guys in that way, and making you feel part of the family still, which is awesome. And that was the goal. And kind of glad we started before all this lockdown happened, right?
Agreed.
Yes. Awesome. Well, Charlie, it has been fun being able to chat to you again. So thank you for joining us today to share your experience of Huddle, and we'll hopefully be able to see you in the flesh very, very soon.
Very soon. Looking forward to it.
I know. Awesome. All right. Thanks, man.